Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the first game of the Japan series featuring the Hanshin Tigers and the Oryx Buffaloes. Both of these teams were able to finish in the top spot in their respective leagues during the regular season, and it's apropos that they are going to be facing one another here in tonight's first game of the Japan series. We're going to give you first the starting lineups for the visitors in tonight's game, which will be the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off and playing in center field is number 5, Koji Chikamoto. Batting second and playing second base is number 51, Takumu Nakano. Hitting third and right field is number 1, Shota Morishita. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 3, Yusuke Oyama. Batting fifth at third base, wearing number 8, is Teraki Sato. Batting in the sixth spot and playing in left field is number 7, Sheldon Noisy. Batting seventh and doing the designated hitting is number 25, Ryo Watanabe. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 0, Seiya Kanami. And batting ninth and doing the catching is Seishiro Sakamoto. And they are going to be facing the ace of the Buffaloes. It is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto who takes to the hill. He had a 16-6 record in the regular season. He'd worked 164 innings. He'd allowed 117 hits. He gave up 27 runs, only 22 were earned. He walked 28 and struck out 169, and he pitched to a sparkling 1.21 earned run average. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Hanshin. Now the starting lineup for the Oryx Buffaloes. Leading off and in left field, wearing number 39, Ryoma Ikeda. Batting second and playing third base is number 6, Yuma Mune. Hitting third at first base is number 67, Kai Nakagawa. Batting in the cleanup spot and in right field is number 4, Tomoya Mori. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 44, Yuma Tongu. Batting sixth and playing shortstop is number 24, Kataro Kirbiashi. Batting in the seventh spot and playing second base is number 8, Marwin Gonzalez. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 2, Kenya Wakatsuki. And batting ninth in center field wearing number 9 is Tomoya Noguchi. And they are going to be facing Shoki Murakami, who takes to the hill. He had a 10-6 record during the regular season. He'd worked 144 and a third innings. He'd allowed 92 hits, 30 runs, 28 of which were earned. He walked 15 and struck out 137, and he had an ERA of 1.57. Well, it is game 1 tonight of the Japan series, so stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. It is Tigers versus Buffaloes. When we come back in just a few, we appreciate you guys for being with us.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. That is our friend Matt Hollis. Be sure after the game to go check him out. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Tigers and Buffaloes coming up live in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. The Buffaloes are just taking to the field as they've been introduced, and it is all of the starters. They're wearing their home whites here tonight, and we will be back in just a couple moments with all the action for you. It is going to be the Buffaloes and the Tigers when we return in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here on our stream with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. All the pomp and circumstances underway as Yoshinobu Yamamoto is just throwing in front of the dugout as both of these teams will be ready to get this one underway. It is the first pitch ceremony that is about to take place. It looks like it is one of the young gals in the Buffalo youth team is going to throw out the first pitch as it'll be a start here in just a few minutes. It is supposed to be scheduled for the bottom of the hour at 2:30 a.m. Pacific time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern, or 6:30 p.m. in Japan, as Koji Chikamoto is participating in that as well, as the first pitch was thrown to him as he is swung and missed. We're going to be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. It is Buffaloes and Tigers in just a few, as the Buffaloes have taken the field, and we'll be right back with all the calls in a moment. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Yoshinobu Yamamoto has just taken to the hill, and he's going to be getting his warm-up tosses going. We'll be back with all the calls here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. It is going to be the Tigers and the Buffaloes in Game 1 of the NPB's Japan series, and we'll be back to have it for you in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the Tigers and the Buffaloes as we are ready to get this one underway, as we are just checking on our stuff as well, as Yoshinobu Yamamoto has completed his warm-up tosses. It's going to be Koji Chikamoto to lead it off. It'll be Takumo Nakano and Shota Morishita to follow, as the left-handed hitting center fielder of the Tigers is stepping in at the plate here, as we are just trying to get ourselves sorted out with all of our feeds so we could bring you all the action. Everything's all a little bit choppy here tonight, so hopefully that is not going to be the case for this one here. Yamamoto is ready to go, and we are ready to give you the action straight away here. Here comes the first pitch of the ball game as Yamamoto rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses down and in for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Chikamoto on the season was 1 for 11. He had no homers he had 1 for 11 in the postseason, no homers and a couple RBIs, as Yamamoto again rocks into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes even at 1-1. The speedy center fielder for the Tigers, as we have already skipped ahead here as Chikamoto is gone, and it is Nakano batting. So we're going to have to struggle with this a little bit here. The 1-1 pitch to Nakano is a fastball that misses. The count is now 2-1. Apologize to everybody here for our setup as we are just getting ourselves sorted. I can't look in on the chat as well. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Nakano as the right-hander Yamamoto rocks into the windup. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. And the count goes to 2-2 on Nakano. So 1 gone here in the first inning as Chikamoto was retired. And we'll have to get you that in just a few once we are able to sort that out. We missed the Chikamoto at bat in its entirety. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakano as the right-hander Yamamoto gets his sign from Wakatsuki. He rocks himself into the windup, and here comes the pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 here to Nakano. Nakano 1 for 11 in the postseason as well. We took a look at the Tigers postseason against the Carp. How they made it through offensively is amazing. The lineup tonight, 16 for 83 in the series against the Carp. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left center field. And that ball is going to get in for a base hit as it bounces in front of Akita. And that is going to be a single here for Nakano. So he's the first base runner of the evening. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita against the Carp, he was 2 for 10. He had a homer and a couple RBIs. Had himself a very fine campaign, did the young fella. So Nakano aboard with a 1-out single as he gets his lead over at first base. And right-hander Yamamoto gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. Poured in at 94 miles an hour. So no balls and 1 strike to Morishita. Morishita batting from the right side. As he waits here on the offering from the right-hander Yamamoto. Here comes the pitch. As Yamamoto kicks and delivers, it's a fastball again, swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Defensively tonight for the Buffaloes from left to right field, it's Akita in left. The center fielder is Noguchi with the right fielder Mori. Around the horn from first to third, it is Nakagawa at first, Gonzalez at second, Kobayashi at short, and Mune at third, with the battery of Yamamoto and Wakatsuki. Here is the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander ready to deliver. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball that just misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-2. Yamamoto wanted that pitch, but it had a little bit of arm side run to it as it ran off the plate. So a 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Morishita. As we mentioned, everybody here, we're looking on our chat here. We're just getting ourselves sorted out as we hope to be in for a nice long series with all of you. Here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander holds to the set and now delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike. Off goes the runner down to second, and that's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. Morishita gone down looking for a called strike 3. Nakano caught stealing. That's going to go in the books 2-6, and he's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that's going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the first inning. There was no runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising now to the bottom half of the first inning. It'll be Akita, Mune, and Nakagawa to come to bat as they will be facing the starter Murakami, who comes on here. It'll be interesting to see a little bit. You can tell already right out of the gate with the ball game here that there's a little extra time in between the innings, and it may not be the regular timing that we normally have. It was a ground out to first by Chikamoto that started the ball game. We had missed that pitch and the pitch sequence to him. Nakano had singled and he was erased on the strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. So they had the unconventional 1-2-3, did the Tigers. Murakami is completing his warm-up tosses and we'll be ready to resume the action here in just a moment. A rare, what we would like to call full house at the Kyocera Dome. It was interesting in the series, early in the series, did not have against the Marines, did not have a full house. A few empty seats could be seen. But we would expect here between these two Osaka-based clubs, there wouldn't be anything empty. I had the chance to see the Tigers check that the Carp and the Giants. It was the Giants were playing a couple of neutral site home games at the Kyocera Dome in late August, early September. I got a chance to get to a couple of those games, and it was very tough to get a seat in that one. So here we go. Here comes Akita to lead it off as he's ready to face the right-hander. As he kicks and delivers, and it's a first pitch fastball swung on it. Is popped up behind home plate. Giving chase is Sakamoto, but he's going to watch that one sail into the seats, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Akita. So no balls and one strike. Some late night action here for everybody. We got Tyler in the house tonight. We appreciate you being here. We are in the chat now, so everything has been sorted out. So thanks for everybody for being here. Here comes the 0-1 offering. And it is a split finger pitch that is missed down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. Our friend Alexander Leggett in the house, so we appreciate you for being here. And, of course, Tyler as well. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul over on the first base side. Sakamoto is going to watch that one drift into the seats, and the count is 1-2. How you doing tonight there, Tyler? Good to have you in the stream tonight, as is our friend Alexander. Very interesting that Akita, the second-year player, only has 20 games, regular season games in the NPB, got the start here tonight in the leadoff spot. Didn't even play in the playoff series. So you'll wonder what's going on with Yataro Sugimoto. Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch misses down. He checks his swing. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Akita didn't go, and the count now goes to 2-2. Tyler says he should be asleep, but loves the playoffs. MD Mob says, go Tigers from Melbourne, Australia. Well, we appreciate you for being here with us. And I have a feeling tonight it's going to be, until we can get things going, it's going to be a bit of a slog with our feed. I just have that feeling. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Morishita delivers, it is a fastball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. That is one thing tonight. It is a little bit choppy. So we've got the A feed, we got the B feed, we got all the feeds going here so that we don't lose anything. And I may have to go back to the B feed, which will be a little bit tough for us. And here comes the 3-2 offering to Akita. Again, we're having to wait on this as Morishita kicks and delivers. The pitch is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Racing in on it as the right fielder is struggling, but able to make the catch is Morishita. He had to come a long way to come and get it. Nikita is retired for the first out of the inning. One up and one away, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Well, for Mune, he's had an outstanding playoff. He was 6 for 15 in the series against the Marines. He had no homers and 1 RBI. As I said, we're going to have our problems, I think, here tonight with our A feed, and I think we're going to have to be going to our B feed. That means that we're going to be losing our line on the chat. As Nakagawa here ready to face the offering, we're skipped ahead as Mune had ended up getting himself out, and it's 0-2 here to Nakagawa. So I've got two feeds going, and I can't seem to get either of them to get on sync with each other, and I apologize, everybody, for that. Once we can get that taken care of. But I guess that's what happens when it's on the free site. So we've got no balls and 2 strikes to Nakagawa, who's batting in the 3 spot, and it's a fastball that misses up and away from Murakami. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I can tell you that Yuma Mune was retired in his at-bat. But as we said, we're going to have our struggles here unless we can be able to get our feeds in place. Here comes the 1-2 to Nakagawa. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. And there's multiple ones, so we're going to try to get the one that's going to give us the most consistency. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks, and he delivers. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And that is going to retire Nakagawa. He goes down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board, and that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the inning. We'll come on back in just a few after this. We appreciate you guys for listening in. Nothing as we go to the second. It is the Tigers and the Buffaloes. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are, as we said, we're going to have to skip around a little bit here for those of you who are new with us. Sometimes we have these challenges, but once we can get ourselves some reliability here, we'll be able to make sure we maintain that. So we are now moving to the top of the second inning. It is going to be Oyama, Sato, and Noisy to come to bat, as they'll be facing Yoshinobu Yamamoto for his second inning of work. As we said, it is a bit of a challenge because we're just tapping around and trying to make sure that we've got everything on the go here. The other thing is, as we said, we noticed is it looks like they have a little bit extra length of time in between the innings or the half innings. And we are yet to see if that is going to be the case all the way through our feeds here tonight. I don't know if that is what the deal is, but that might be the situation that we are going to be facing. And if that is the case, it's going to pose a little bit of frustration for us. Normally, it's about 60 seconds in between the innings, but being this is the Japan series, there may be an extended piece here. But Yamamoto is ready to come on for his second inning of work. And as we said before, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us. So Yamamoto here, ready to face Oyama as he rocks into the windup and delivers. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Oyama 1 for 9 in the playoffs against the Carp, batting from the right side here against the right-hander Yamamoto, who rocks himself into the windup. And now he kicks and delivers, and it is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. The count now runs even at 1-1. Hopefully we've got ourselves something reliable here that we can carry on with for the rest of the night. We do have our backup as well. Here comes the 1-1 offering as Yamamoto kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This is looped softly over to short. And Kobayashi's there to make the catch. And Oyama is in the books for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away. And that's going to bring up the third baseman, Teruaki Sato. Well, for Sato, he's 2 for 12 in the Carp series. Nothing across the slash line as the big fella here is ready to face Yamamoto for the first time in the Japan series. If I had to give my predictions, which I didn't do at the outset, I'm leaning toward the Buffaloes in this series over the Tigers. And I say that because I just think that even though the Tigers had the best record of the two teams in the regular season, there's a fastball taken for a called strike and the count is 0-1. I just think that the Buffaloes ball club is just way deeper. It's a deeper ball club, and they've got guys off the bench that can come and also swing the bat who are not even in the lineup tonight. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on it, is grounded softly to second, fielded by Gonzalez. He flips it over to first. That's going to retire Sato on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Well, for Noisy, he was 2 for 10 in the first series against the Carp. He had no homers and 1 run driven in. So the right-hander Yamamoto ready to go to work. He gets his sign from his catcher Wakatsuki, and he's rocking into this slow windup. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and in for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Yamamoto has changed his delivery from a couple of years ago where he used to have a very big leg kick. He would pause at the top of the delivery almost like he walks into the pitch. His step back, he takes the step back and he stops. And then he comes forward with not much of a kick. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. That was at 96 miles an hour on the gun. So the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Noisy batting from the right side here against the right-hander Yamamoto as he rocks into the windup. And he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. Another pitch at 96 on the gun. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Yamamoto ready to go back to work here again. He gets the sign and goes into the windup. Here comes the pitch. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count runs even at 2s to Noisy. If Noisy gets on, it'll be Rio Watanabe who will be the DH in this one. There are Tiger fans in the stands, and of course we would expect that there would be lots of them here. And the game in Osaka, of course. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, it looks like we may have our feed issues sorted out, and we can enjoy our chat with the rest of the group here. So we had RRXD asked earlier how many people were on base. Our friend Go Buffs says, or Fluby says, Go Buffs. Was a guy who jumped off the bridge into the water with a belly flop, and there is a fastball taken for a called third strike. Noisy goes in the books. He's gone for out number 3, and that is going to do it here on the top of the second inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the second inning. Your score is the Tigers 0 and the Buffaloes 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening with us on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back right after this. It is 0-0 as we move to the bottom of the second inning. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order coming to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the second inning. That means it's going to be Tomoya Mori, Yuma Tongu, and Kataro Kirbiashi to face the right-hander Murakami, who will come on for his second inning of work. As I mentioned before, it looks like the timing in between the innings is going to be extended. As normally in the Pacific League, it's normally about 60 seconds, and we're back at it. So I'm curious to see if this is going to be a trend or if this is intentionally what they're doing in this one as well. It's kind of neat because when we set up our music and we set up our stuff, we generally have it in at around the 30-second blocks. And now we get to see how this is going to work out here tonight. Well, the Tigers come out on the defense. We'll give it the defensive alignment for them, as we didn't do that in the first inning as we were scrambling a little bit. As the first pitch from Morishita is delivered, it is a fastball swung on and fouled away by Mori, and the count is 0-1. From left to right field, it is Noisy in left. The center fielder is Chikamoto, and in right, it's Morishita. Around the horn from first to third, it is Oyama at first, Nakano at second, Kanami at short, and the third baseman is Sato. With the battery of Morishita and Sakamoto, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Mori. So no balls and 2 strikes. We do appreciate everybody checking into the channel tonight. If you are new here, we're glad you're here, and we'll be here with you for all the games in this series. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, this ball is lined right to the glove of the first baseman, Oyama, and that is going to retire Mori for the first out of the inning. Our friend Titus is in the house. He says he's watching the game in Japan, and we hope you're doing well. We are. Titus, glad to have you in the house tonight. I'm just kind of curious to know how far of a lag I'm behind on the game, as Mori had just lined out. Now coming to bat is the designated hitter, Yuma Tongu. And Tongu was the Pacific League leader in batting average. He only had 2 at-bats in the series against the Marines. He was 1 for 2. So Tongu here at the plate, ready to face Morishita, who delivers a slow breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Alexander says he has a feeling this game is going to be really close. And there's a fastball swung on it, breaks the bat of Tongu. It's grounded up the middle, fielded neatly by the shortstop Kanami, who throws to first. That's going to retire Tongu on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 Buffaloes up and 2 Buffaloes down, and that's going to bring up the shortstop Kataro Kirbiashi. We get a look at that one again, right off the end of the bat, as it was that bat for Tongu has been broken into a gazillion pieces. He was left with a very narrow shard in his hand. Well, Kirbiashi steps to the plate. He takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Kirbiashi 3 for 10 in the round against the Marines. He had no homers and 3 RBIs as he takes a breaking ball down and away, and the count is 1-1. The popular favorite, of course, will be the Hanshin Tigers, as the Osaka-based club is very popular amongst its followers. There's a fastball at the knees for taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. That being said, the problem is that the Buffaloes are not the glamour team. And as I mentioned before, they are the deeper team, at least in my opinion, on the offensive side. Defensively, might give the edge to the Tigers a little bit, especially on the turf field, and then playing on the all-dirt infield at the Koshin. There's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. If I haven't acknowledged everybody who's in here, MD Mob was in the house here. I think he's listening from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Influence is in the house. Yeah, 2U is here. There's a fastball swung on it. His knife foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count now is going to remain at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kirbiashi. 2 gone here in the second. 2's all the way around. And here comes the offering from the right-hander, Markami. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Kobayashi. But if I had to make a prediction in terms of the length of the series, I think this is going to go, I would say 6 games. It's going to be a 6-game set. Our friend Titus says he thinks the Tigers are going to win. Well, we'll see what happens. There's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Kobayashi goes down on strikes. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the second. There was no runs. There were no hits. There were no errors. And there was nobody left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Tigers nothing and the Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you for listening in right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred with Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you, Steve. And that's Steve Rademacher. For those of you who are new to the channel, Steve will be popping in here throughout the night as he has got all kinds of fun stuff. If you get a chance, be sure to go check him out after the ball game is completed, as he is a big supporter of ours. And in turn, we like to support Steve. Well, it is to be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat for the Tigers in their half of the 3rd inning. It'll be Watanabe, Kanami, and Sakamoto. So 7, 8, and 9 to come to bat here to face Yamamoto, as we'll be ready to resume the action here in just a couple moments. Our friend Tom Bradford says, how do I watch this live from Australia? It's a great question, Tom. To be honest with you, I don't know what I can tell you. I know that some of our folks here have the live feed and they have it going on here. So that is sometimes where people are giving their stuff. So we're ready to resume the action here as Yamamoto is ready to take to the hill. And here comes the first offering to Watanabe. As he kicks and delivers, there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. Watanabe, of course, would be familiar with Yamamoto as he played for the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters up until this season, where Watanabe had spent a number of seasons, so he would have faced Yamamoto in the past. And here comes the 0-1 offering as the right-hander delivers. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So it definitely locked up Watanabe there, not expecting a couple of hooks on the first 2 pitches. Watanabe was 0-1 in the playoffs in the series against the Carp. He gets slotted in as the designated hitter in this one. Here's the 0-2. And there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and Watanabe's in the books for the first out of the inning. So quick work made of him by Yamamoto, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. Friend Alexander has given you some information there, Tom. We can't link you in the stuff if you're still with us. There you go. So Titus may be a little bit ahead of us, but let's try to keep the anticipation down a little bit. Here's the first pitch delivered to Kanami, and it's a fastball that misses down and away for a ball, and the count is 1-0. By the sound of it, we're probably about 10 seconds behind, or maybe 30 seconds behind. We'll have to wait and see. Here comes the pitch from Yamamoto. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into a left center field. Moving over underneath it is Akita. He's there to make the catch. That's going to retire Kanami for the second out of the inning. So 2 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. Well, for Sakamoto, he is a 2 for 9 in the playoffs. He had a couple hits against the Carp. He had a couple RBIs to go with it as well. So he bats in the 9 spot. And this will be the 9th hitter to face Yamamoto in this one. He's faced the minimum so far, although he has allowed a hit to Nakano. Right-hander Yamamoto rocking into the windup. Here comes the pitch. He kicks and delivers. Fastball that makes the hitter Sakamoto skip rope. I'll get you going a little bit there, and that's going to be 1 ball and no strikes. We also do welcome the people who listen in on Twitch, as we also stream on that platform as well. We had a couple of folks early on that had jumped in to say hello. We hadn't responded to them. So we thank you for being here as well. As Yamamoto has asked for time, he wants a new baseball. He doesn't like the one that he had. He throws that one out of play. So 1 ball and no strikes to Sakamoto. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto. Yamamoto gets his sign from Wakatsuki. Here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. There's another pitch from Yamamoto. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. Kind of wonder who's doing the broadcasting. When you watch the games through the Pacific League, they have a general style of where the camera angles are and how everything is given to you. I don't know if this is going to be produced by somebody different. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2 because they have these strange shots of the crowd every once in a while. And for no reason, and almost not quite in the middle of play, but in between pitches, rather than maybe after the batter has been completed or after an out has been recorded. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as Yamamoto kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As mentioned, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. So get your pot of coffee going if you are in North America, so you can join us for all the action. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Sakamoto. If you're Yamamoto, make him be a hitter. He's hitting in the 9 spot for a reason. Attack him right here. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander gets ready to go again. As Sakamoto now had stepped out, asked for time. So here comes the offering now from Yamamoto as he rocks himself into the windup. And he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, I don't know what Sakamoto was looking at. He watched that one go right down the middle for out number 3, and that is going to do it. That's the 4th strikeout recorded by Yamamoto here tonight. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the last half of the 3rd inning. Your score is the Tigers 0 and the Buffaloes 0. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Appreciate you for jumping in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Rhodes Scholar is in the house here tonight. We appreciate you for being here. He also is pumping his fist for the Buffaloes. That is seeming to be the popular choice from some of our listeners here. It is going to be Marwin Gonzalez, Kenya Wakatsuki, and Tomoya Noguchi to come to bat here in the third inning, as they will be facing the right-hander Morishita here, who will begin his third inning of work. Japan Series 2023 underway at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. And as we said, we appreciate everybody who is joining us for this one here tonight. As we said, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow and then during the week as well. So if you are in North America, be sure to have your coffee all set and prepared, as we will be giving you all the action on this one. So Gonzalez stepping to the plate. 25 pitches through the first two innings for the right-hander Murakami. As we are ready to get the first offering here, and it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Gonzalez had a tough series against the Marines. He was 1 for 13. No homers and 1 run driven in. As the right-hander Murakami kicks and he delivers. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's chopped right back to the pitcher. Murakami fields it. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Gonzalez on a ground out 1-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Well, on the flip side, you've got Wakatsuki 4 for 12 in the last series. He had no homers and 3 RBIs. Both he and Yuma Mune and Tomoya Mori probably were the biggest producers. They really swung the bat well against the Marines. Our friend Caleb Atkins in the house. We welcome Caleb to the house. Our friend Mr. Rono in the house as well. As here comes the offering. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Wakatsuki. Mr. Rono says the starters are going great. Which team has the better bullpen? I would say my edge would go to the Buffaloes in this one, but the Tigers bullpen's not so shabby either. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. As I said, the overall depth, my needle points towards the Buffaloes. If it's a straight up baseball, well, Tigers definitely deserve to be here as well. They had the best record in the Central League as that fastball was lifted into right field. Camping out underneath it is the right fielder Morishita. He's there. He makes the catch. And Wakatsuki is going to be gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Tomoya Noguchi. Well, for Noguchi, he was 1 for 3 in the last series. Interestingly enough, he's another one. He gets the start in center field here. As I said, Nakagawa getting the start at first base. There's a first pitch fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Taro Sugimoto not in the lineup for this one. So Ryoma Ikeda getting the start in left field was an eyebrow raiser for me when I got the lineups. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander again, kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's chopped softly over to second. Fielded on the run by the second baseman, Nakano. He throws to first. That's going to retire Noguchi on a ground out, 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And boy, did that first 3 innings fly by pretty quick. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 4th. We are all locked up at zeros. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the fourth inning. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat for the Tigers. Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita. Friend Mr. Rono says it's very different than the MLB games where it was runs and hits galore. Absolutely correct. And Michael Ing says the starters are living up to the billing. Absolutely here. I'm just curious to know what the leash is going to be on both of these starters here tonight. How many innings they're going to be allowed to go, as either one of these two could probably go into the well north of 120 pitches if they had to. But it'll be interesting to see how the managers will play this one out. Well, it is Yamamoto who is back on the mound for inning number 4 of work, as he is ready to go again. Top of the order, as we said, Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita as the hitters here to face him. 36 pitches for Yamamoto through 3, and the first pitch is a fastball. That one pours in at 97 miles an hour for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 97 miles an hour. That might be the fastest pitch we've seen all night so far from Yamamoto. He is heating up as we move along. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be grounded softly into the 6-hole. Fielded on the backhand by Kobayashi, but he's got no chance at Chikamoto at first base. It's not even going to make the throw. That's going to be an infield single, so he's got himself aboard. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Takuma Nakano. Well, keep your eye on Chikamoto, as our last graphic had. He can run a little bit. He led the Central League in stolen bases, so he is a threat to run for sure. He's got 1 foot on the turf and 1 on the dirt, as the right-hander Yamamoto holds to the set position. And now he does a token toss over to first base, and getting back easily is Chikamoto. Chikamoto is fun to watch. At least in my opinion, he is. He is exciting on the base paths. He can cover ground in the outfield. There's times that he gets on a good stretch at the plate, and there's also some times he can be very, very cold. Here's the pitch from Yamamoto. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. He led the Central League in stolen bases, did Chikamoto, and Nakano, who's at the plate here, was second. So not a bad 1-2 punch for the Tigers as they can get on and move around the base paths a little bit. Nakano was 1 for 1 tonight. He had the first hit of the ball game for the Tigers, but he was erased in the strike him out, throw him out when Morishita went down on strikes. Here comes the offering from the right-hander, and it's a split finger pitch taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Top of the fourth inning, Tigers and Buffaloes locked at zeros. It's like a heavyweight boxing match where the fighters come out and they just were working the jabs and sparring, looking for holes, trying to determine if they're going to, where they're going to try to deliver the knockout punch. But this one here is going to be a pitcher's duel pretty much all night. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to the right side of the infield. It is fielded and stopped by Nakagawa, but he's unable to come up with it. And then the ball gets away from him, and then he has no opportunity anywhere. And that's going to go down as an E3. So error charged to the first baseman. Nakagawa getting the start at first base. Looked like it could have been a double play ball, and he got nothing. We got to look at the replay ourselves. It was grounded to the right side, and as I said, it looked like he was going to get it and go to second, and then when he knocked it down, he went to pick it up, and he bobbled it again. Well, that's going to bring up the right fielder Shota Morishita as he comes to bat here with Chikamoto at second and Nakano at first. Morishita 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. As the right-hander Yamamoto holds to the set. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1 ball and no strike. Morishita's got himself in a good hitter's count here. It's Yusuke Oyama who waits his turn on deck. So they're getting into the meat of the order here for the Tigers. First threat or extended threat of the ball game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's a split figure pitch taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 1-1 on Morishita. I have to say, the split figure pitch that Yamamoto's throwing today, we haven't really seen it fall off the table like it has. That one hung in for a called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander works to the set. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, grounded to short. Kobayashi goes to second for 1, back to first. That's going to be a double play. It's going to be a 6-4-3 variety. Cano gone at second for the first out. Morishita on the backside, but it is going to advance Chikamoto to third. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Yusuke Oyama. So it couldn't be a worse situation to be in other than maybe a pop-out in that spot. They get 2 for the price of 1. Do the Tigers or do the Buffaloes in this case? Went tiger hunting and they got 2. And that is going to bring up the first baseman, Yusuke Oyama. Oyama tonight 0 for 1. He popped to the shortstop his first time up. He bats here from the right side against the right-hander Yamamoto. So Yamamoto, the double play, getting him out of some trouble. And here comes the pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Oyama. Oyama 1 for 10 in the playoffs thus far, between this series and the one against the Carp. As we mentioned at the top of the stream, the lineup here tonight was 16 for 83 against the Carp in the playoffs. As Yamamoto steps off the backside of the rubber and goes to the rosin bag, and we're going to do this again. So 1 strike to Oyama as the right-hander holds to the set. And now he delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. I have to tell you, Yamamoto, really nothing left to prove in the NPB. No matter what he does in this series, he has done enough right now. It looks like they're trying to suggest who the front runners of his services will be in the MLB. It looks like it's going to be the Mets, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. Who would have thunk it? Here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers a split-figure pitch that is down in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. One would also have to think that there'll be others that'll be making pitches, or a lot of others. One would think the Angels would be in that mix. You kind of think that the Giants, Mariners, some of the West Coast teams will be making their pitches as well. I personally think if I was to lay money down on where I think he lands, I think he's going to be a Met. Him and Kodai Senga, the 1-2 punch in New York, would be very impressive. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oyama stood there like that by the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of the 4th. Well, they threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs, a hit. There was an error, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score is the Tigers 0 and the Buffaloes 0. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the 4th inning. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be the top of the order, Akita, Mune, and Nakagawa to come to bat. Our friend Caleb said he had to leave and had something to do. Everything all fell apart when you left there, Caleb. They got the first two runners aboard. It was a single in the air, as we know. And then it was Morishita grounding into a double play and Oyama striking out looking, and that's how the inning ended. So it is going to be the top of the order coming up here for the Buffaloes in the fourth, Akita, Mune, and Nakagawa to face the right-hander Murakami. So Murakami ready to go for his fourth inning of work as the umpires put the ball into play. 33 pitches through 3 innings for the Tigers right-hander. And he delivers a first pitch fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. As I mentioned earlier, a bit of a head scratcher as Akita is in the lineup tonight. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. So 2 notable sluggers not in the lineup, Leandro Cedeno being one and Yataro Sugimoto being the other. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So I'll be curious to see how the manager is going to make his shuffle after this ball game is done. There's a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. Certainly, if the Buffaloes win the game, I would expect that it would be very, very similar. 37 pitches for Murakami in this one so far, and 28 of them have been for strikes. Very impressive. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Akita. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, we appreciate you listening live or on delay. Either way, it's great to have you with us here on a very early Saturday morning in North America. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. It was a heck of a ball game between the Diamondbacks and the Rangers last night. It looked like the Diamondbacks were going to win it. A Corey Seager 2-run homer in the bottom of the 9th, and an Adolis Garcia walk-off in the 11th. 6-5 Rangers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. So the World Series being played in the United States features a 1-0 lead now for Texas. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander works himself to the belt. And he kicks and delivers. And that is a fastball ticket for a called third strike. Akita watched that one go by for out number 1. He's in the books. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. I have to tell you, I'm not 100% sure what Mune did. I'll have to go back and look at this as we had some feed problems to get this one going. He grounded out to first his first time up. It was on a 0-1 pitch. So he comes to bat here as he will be facing Murakami for the second time tonight. 6 for 16 in the playoffs for Mune. He did not have himself a great regular season. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded to the right side, fielded by the second baseman Nakano. He throws to first, and Mune is retired. It's going to be a ground out 4-3, and I say that certainly by the 2 seasons Mune had put together the 2 years before. He had a downer of a year this year. So he's in the books for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Kai Nakagawa. Nakagawa struck out his first time up, and he had himself an error in the last half inning that almost put the Buffaloes into a disastrous situation. As the right-hander kicks and he delivers, it is a fastball lifted into right field. It is slicing toward the line. Heading over toward it is Morishita. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Nakagawa for the third out of the inning. And that's going to do it here as we're through 4 complete now. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Murakami is dealing pitch for pitch with his counterpart. He has retired all 12 batters he's faced in this one. We'll be back in just a few with the top of the fifth inning. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us, whether you're live or on delay. This is the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We got ourselves settled into a good one here, as it is going to be coming to bat Teruki Sato, Sheldon Noisy, and Rio Watanabe to face the right-hander Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who will start his fifth inning of work. I always like to laugh and we say at the end of the fifth inning, it is the Japanese halftime, as we like to call it. Well, I assume it'll be the halftime as well, the extended break. I know the Pacific League seems to have a lot longer break than what the Central League does, and we'll see if that carries forward here into the Japan series as well. Certainly the home team being the Oryx Buffaloes in this one here, they play with the rules of the Pacific League when it's their home games. When it's the opposition, it'll be the other way around. That'll be with the pitchers hitting. So here comes the first offering from Yamamoto. It's a fastball that misses inside for a ball. The count is 1-0. Sato 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first time up. 2 for 13 in the playoffs. As the right-hander Yamamoto kicks and delivers, there's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. And Sato took such a hack, he lost his helmet into the other batter's box, and that's going to run the count even to 1-1. One thing I will say about Sato is that he has seemingly cut down on his strikeouts. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to ground up the middle. That ball had eyes, and Sato's going to be aboard with a leadoff single here. That'll bring up the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Just a couple of things to finish off on Sato. This is his third year in the league. When he first came in, he had struck out 173 times in 425 at-bats. In the 2022 season, he struck out 137 times in 541 at-bats, so 120 more at-bats, and he'd struck out 40 times less. This year here, he struck out 139 times, about the same as last year, but he had only 486 at-bats this year. So Sato making some adjustments. Here comes the pitch from Yamamoto. There's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. Sato takes off to second base, and he slides in safely with a head-first stolen base. That's a pretty gutsy call there by the Tigers. Sato on the regular season only had 5 stolen bases, but they must have saw something there off of Yamamoto. He got himself a good jump. The throw from Wakatsuki was to the right field side of second base. Gonzalez had to get it and then have to apply the tag. But Sato's got himself a stolen base, and it snowballs 1 strike here to Noisy. Now we'll see if Noisy can get the job done and hit behind the runner here. The bare minimum, he gets him over to third. If not, then it's potentially a situation where it'll be all for naught. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. Noisy 2 for 11 in the playoffs. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. And our friend Patrick is in the house here. He says hello from Ireland, and we welcome you to the stream there, Patrick. We thank you for jumping in here with us tonight. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, moving back on it and making the catches. Maury tagging at second and heading to third is the runner Sato, and that is going to be a sacrifice or a fly ball out to right field by Noisy to advance the runner. Nice job there. Good piece of hitting by Noisy. So he's gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Rio Watanabe. We got a couple of folks from Ireland pop in here, and we're glad that Patrick has joined us as well. If you're not familiar so much with Ireland per se, the Irish, there's a movie out called The Emerald Diamond. It was a number of years ago, and they have a couple of baseball diamonds in Dublin. They have a 90-footer and a 60-footer at least, and it was a lot of the money had come from Patrick O'Malley, the one-time owner, the owner once upon a time from the Dodgers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field, and this is going to get down for a base hit, and that's going to get the first run of the ball game in. Watanabe's flare is going to get in for a base hit. He's got himself an RBI. Sato comes across with the first run, and the Tigers are ahead here 1-0 in the top of the fifth inning. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. Our friend Patrick says, it's a pity this game isn't broadcasted across the world. Yeah, it is unfortunate. You know, I have to say, after spending time in Japan this past year, and as Yamamoto throws over to first and diving back in time as Watanabe, the Japanese profile is very interesting. It's an interesting piece. I'll give you my thoughts on it as we move along here, as the first offering from Kanami is ready to come here. As the pitch is delivered, it's a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. One thing that I noticed when I was in Japan is when you're in the United States, Canada, you're in Europe, people will wear their colors. They'll wear their hats. They'll wear their T-shirts. There'll be something around. Unless you're going to the game, you don't see a lot of Japanese people wearing the hats or the shirts that the merchandise per se that the teams have. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. I found that to be rather intriguing. I was literally standing in an Osaka mall in the underground and just watching people go by, and literally you could count for 15 or 20 minutes and not see anything. You could see North American hats. You could see a lot of that stuff. But nothing, unfortunately, regular on the fans or on the locals. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field. Fielded by Maury, but stopping at second is going to be Watanabe. So that is going to put runners at first and second. Yamamoto always has that one inning where he just seems to fall apart. And here comes the pitching coach. And this might be the inning here, is they've got runners at first and second with 1 out and 1 run on the board already. As I was mentioning a little bit earlier, I was saying about the merchandise or the gear that the fans would wear. So I saw it a few occasions. I was at the Tokyo Dome. There literally would be somebody would come in dressed in a, workman or businessman, maybe not a suit, but with the shirt and tie. And then they would put the jersey on over top of the shirt and tie, watch the ball game. And when the game was done, they would take the jersey off, fold it up neatly and put it in their briefcase and walk out with their shirt and tie on. It was kind of bizarre. You wouldn't see that in Buffalo or in Minnesota if you were in the United States. Well, there's runners at first and second. It brings up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. Sakamoto 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out looking his first time up, and he's already squaring to bunt. And here comes the first offering from Yamamoto. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and it backs Sakamoto off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Sakamoto, that's the second time tonight he has had hot feet in the box. 2 for 10 in the playoffs for the catcher for the Tigers as he bats in the 9 spot. My friend Patrick said it was, if I say this correctly, Corga Park in Dublin have baseball fields. As here comes the 1-0 pitch. And it is popped up, and it is right in front of home plate, and that is going to be caught by Yamamoto. I think they wanted to see if they were going to let that drop and maybe turn a double play, but that is going to retire Sakamoto. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Koji Chikamoto. Well, for Chikamoto, he is 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a single and 2 trips. 2 for 13 in the playoffs. When I think about Dublin, Ireland, it was 27 years ago that I was in Dublin, just over 27 years ago. Enjoyed my time in the Emerald Isle. I always used to tell people I spent 6 days and 4 nights there. Of course, it was 3 and 2 when I got there and 3 and 2 when I came back, but that other night could have been a drunken blur back in the day. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Chikamoto. My folks went to Dublin probably about 10 years after, and they said that, not just to Dublin, but Ireland, period, and they said that they were really impressed with the growth and the infrastructure, and certainly becoming a part of the European Union was probably a big help for Ireland at the time. As here comes the pitch, and it is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. But like other prosperous countries, their property values, everything is kind of priced themselves out globally in that area. It's very interesting to see. So 1 ball and 1 strike as Chikamoto's batting here on the left side. And the right-hander Yamamoto working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit. It's off the wall. It's going to get 1 run in. And heading in there to pick it up is Noguchi. And rounding third and scampering home with another run is Kanami. It's going to be a triple for Chikamoto. He's going to knock a pair in here. And it is now going to give the Tigers a 3-0 lead here on the top of the 5th inning. So a triple for Chikamoto, bringing home Watanabe and Kanami. And the Buffaloes find themselves at a 3-0 deficit. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Takumu Nakano. So it's a good time for Chikamoto to get hot. His second hit of the ballgame tonight. As Nakano here waits on the first offering from the right-hander Yamamoto, and it's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Our friend Patrick says that softball in Ireland is becoming a very popular sport here. It's great to hear. It's also very popular in New Zealand, if you're talking about the fast pitch. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1. Patrick says Yamamoto not having a great playoffs, 2 bad games in a row. Yeah, he wasn't particularly sharp in that game against the Marines. He was doing fairly well for the first 4 here, and then all of a sudden, the 5th inning, it's like the Tigers know what pitches are coming. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back on the airwaves again for these same 2 ball clubs. So if you're around, be sure to check it out as well, as we'll call the entire series. Then we get the Monday game off, or day off. And then we will call the games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's a fastball swung on. This is punched through the 6-hole into left field, and that's going to get Chikamoto home. So a single there by Nakano. He threw his hands at the ball. His second hit of the ball game, his first RBI tonight. That's going to bring home Chikamoto with the 4th run of the inning. The Tigers have themselves a 4-0 lead, and our friends who were in here earlier looking for the over, I don't know if that was Caleb or if that was Influence. Well, you're on your way now because it is now a 4-0 lead here for the Tigers. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita tonight, he is 0 for 2. He has struck out looking and grounded into a double play. As the right-hander Yamamoto ready to go again. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Only 68 pitches so far for Yamamoto, so he's got a lot left in that arm. But all of a sudden here in this inning, it has been a collection of hits. 5 to be exact for the Tigers. As the right-hander works himself to the set position. And here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is even now at 1-1. Our friend Patrick says, are you still living in Japan? And it is very expensive to live there. No, I am not living in Japan. Spent 3 weeks there at the end of the summer. Japan is actually on sale right now. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. And I say that because compared to where I live here in Canada, accommodations were relatively cheap, and the food is cheap. Certainly the inflation we're experiencing here in North America has not touched the Japanese quite yet. So very affordable vacations in Japan. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. But instead, Yamamoto flips it over to first, and getting back in time is Nakano. Two balls and 1 strike to Morishita. A 4-0 lead for Murakami to be able to pitch with. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count now goes to 3-1. I wonder if the layover or the lack of competitive games sometimes do things for both of these teams. A full week I think it was a full week for the Tigers, and then 6 days for the Buffaloes. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and that runs the count now to 3-2. Our friend Titus says he's living in Japan, of course. He says it's getting more expensive for the Japanese, though. Yeah, I think it is. I think certainly there's a lot of Japanese folk that live and work in Canada, especially the students that come over here. And I wonder if they're saving some money up or transferring it back home. There's a split finger swung on and missed. And that is going to do it, as Morishita is going to be gone for the third out of the inning. We'll come back and talk economics and baseball when we return in just a couple moments. 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 5 hits. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Tigers 4 and the Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Buffaloes. That's meaning Mori, Itongu, and Kobayashi to face the right-hander Morishita. As we mentioned before, we like to call it Japanese halftime. So after this half inning, we are anticipating an extended break. So that will mean we are going to go up and refresh our iced tea and be able to give you guys the rest of the call without any scratchy voices or us wanting to hack and cough every couple of minutes. The 4 runs in the inning have given the Tigers a 4-0 lead as the Buffaloes come to bat. Mori, Tongu, and Kobayashi. The Buffaloes have yet to reach base in this one. They've sent 12 hitters to the plate, and all 12 have been retired in order. As the first pitch is a fastball delivered. This ball is belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble if it stays fair. And this ball is going to... It's going to look like it is... Got to be a foul ball here. What do we have on our hands? The umpire, they're looking for the home run. We don't know. We're waiting for the signal. Nakajima, the manager, up on the top steps. He's moving the hand. Is this a home run or what? Not sure what it is. Now we have the manager coming out for an explanation. So he's talking to the first base coach, and the first base coach says, go to the home plate umpire because they think it's a home run. We want to have a look at this. Toya Mori is standing at second base. I don't know what's going on here. We're going to have a look at this one again. This ball was absolutely obliterated. It looked like, probably what it was is it probably hit the roof. That's my only thoughts to this, is that ball probably hit the roof or got stuck on the roof. So if that's the case, then that's going to be a double. As Tomoya Mori is standing at second base with a ground rule double. So that ball was an absolute moonshot. It's the first hit of the ball game here for the Buffaloes, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuma Tongu. The manager, Nakajima, wanted to get an explanation on that, and it looks like that the home plate umpire is going to go over to the microphone and give an explanation to the crowd as well. I got a chance to see a couple games at the Kyocera Dome this past year, and it was a neutral site affair, both of them. It was the Hiroshima Carp and the Yomiuri Giants. What was interesting about it is the Giants were the home team in that one. Both of the games were sold out. But going to the stadium, it reminded me a lot of the old Houston Astrodome. Looked like a spaceship had been landed in the stadium and had a really strange and weird kind of look to it. Well, this is going to bring Yuma Tongu to the plate, as Tongu is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up. And we lost our feed there for just a moment. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Tongu. So Tongu batting here with the runner at Mori at second and nobody out. Here's the pitch. There's a split finger pitch, swung on and fouled away. And that's the second time tonight that Yuma Tongu has broken a bat. This one here split in half again. Not sure what kind of wood he's got. It's going to run the count to 1-2. His last time up, he grounded out to the shortstop and the bat blew up in his hand. This one here, really strange again. We're going to get a look at the replay here. Last time he hit it off the end of the bat. This time it looked like he cued it right off the cupped end. And the bat had split into a million pieces. That bat certainly didn't have a long life expectancy in it, as it was only 3 pitches into this at bat after the previous one was destroyed as well. So the right-hander, Markami, gets his sign, and now he works himself to the belt. He checks the runner Mori at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-2. Tongu, a very important piece here. A very important piece added to the service. Our friend is asking, he's in Japan, he has cable service, and I only watch YouTube. I don't know much about sports streaming. Our friend God is Great in the house here. He's from Japan as well. He might be able to help you out. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. If Titus is still listening in with us here, he's in Japan, and he can probably give you some insight. Our friend Patrick Franks says, how did Trevor Bauer do in his first season? He pitched really well. He was the player of the month in June and in August. And then he got hurt, actually, at the Cochin Stadium against the Tigers, trying to field the ball off on the third base side. Ended up, was the hip flexor was the problem. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Tongu. As we said, Tongu led the Pacific League in batting, and really, in a lot of ways, the emergence of Tongu and, of course, the addition of Marwin Gonzalez and a couple others almost left everybody to forget about Masataka Yoshida. There's a fastball swung on. It's lined into the temporary seating down the right field line, and the count remains at 3-2. Thought the loss of Masataka Yoshida would be huge. The trade to get Tomoya Mori and then Tongu has been absolutely more than a plus for the Buffaloes. So here comes the pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Oh, Tongu, I don't know what you were looking at. He watched that one go by for out number 1. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Our friend Patrick Frank says, what's your thought on which players do you think will be posted after the Japan series? It's a good question. Yamamoto being one for sure. Yuki Matsui, the pitcher for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, will be another one that is going to test the waters in North America. I understand that there were word on the street that the Bay Stars would take a run after him. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Kobayashi. Kobayashi 0-for-1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. So I think those two for sure. I don't know what the situation with the third baseman for the Yomiuri Giants, Okamoto, is all about. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is now 2-0 to Kobayashi. I know that Kona Takahashi of the Lions would like to be posted, but the Saitama Cebu Lions have no interest in posting the big right-hander. Hiroki Sasaki and Murakami, the third baseman from the Swallows, are a couple of years away. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kobayashi. Have to give some other thoughts because I had a list of about 6 or 7 players. I understand that Roberto Osuna wants to head back to Major League Baseball, and for some reason, I think it was 4 years and $28 million is what the Hawks have offered him. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Kobayashi. The question is will Major League Baseball want Osuna back? He is obviously exiled in Japan, much like Trevor Bauer was exiled because of some of his off-field problems, I would say, if that would be the way to put it. Here's the 3-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Kobayashi aboard with a walk. That's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Marwin Gonzalez. Also going to bring the infield in here to join the conference here to see what they have to think about. You definitely got to believe that Marwin Gonzalez is not up there to bunt. He's going to be up there to try to put one into seats. Gonzalez 1-for-14 in the playoffs. He does have an RBI. A switch hitter batting from the left side here against the right-hander Murakami. 57 pitches so far for the right-hander in this one. Both he and Yamamoto have been economical in the pitches. It's that last inning where Yamamoto fell apart, giving up 5 hits in the inning. So the runner at second is Mori, the runner at first Kobayashi. 1 gone here in the 5th. As the right-hander Murakami works himself to the belt. Checks the runner and delivers. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 1 tonight in this one. He grounded to the pitcher his first time up. Certainly Gonzalez getting an opportunity to be able to play here in this series. It's been a black hole at second base for the Buffaloes. Ryo Adachi, Oshino, and the pitch is a split finger pitch missing down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Crowd is making their noise and making their noise felt here, urging their Buffaloes on. Here comes the 1-1 offering. The first time in over 50 years, the Kansai series. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, but it's going to hook foul. Oh boy, Gonzalez absolutely obliterated that one. But he wasn't able to keep it fair. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here. Hook barreled that one down the right field line. Oh boy. I would have made this a really entertaining ball game. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to the import. As he waits here on the offering from the right-hander. This is really the first trouble that Murakami's been in this one. Checks the runner and now delivers. Fastball swung on. This is lifted foul down the third base line, and Sato races over, but he's going to watch that one sail into the seats, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Gonzalez. Cammy gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up, and he's ready to go again. Right-hander against the left-hander as Murakami now nods in agreement with his catcher, Sakamoto. And now time has been called as Marwin Gonzalez feels that he's taken a little bit too long. So now everybody's reset. They've got themselves back ready to go, and here comes the pitch. As Murakami now gets the self set to the belt, and here comes the offering. It is a split finger pitch swung on, and this is lined into the right field corner, but this one is going to hook foul. Oh boy, Gonzalez not being fooled by anything right now. Keeps the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Murakami has given up a couple of absolute missiles. It was a split finger pitch that had hung up in the zone and was absolutely tattooed. The fans down the right field line in that temporary seating are getting all kinds of souvenirs in this one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. Kenya Wakatsuki waits his turn on deck. Runner at second, Mori. Runner at first, Kobayashi. As the right-hander now nods in agreement. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted down the third base line, and the count remains at 1-2. Our friend undrafted player in the house, we welcome you. And he is listening from France. We've had a number of different countries check in. We've had France, Ireland, we've had Australia, of course, the United States being one. And Japan, of course, that we know of. So at least 5 countries have tuned in to listen tonight. There may be some more. So 1-2 strikes to Gonzalez. This has turned into a bit of a battle. This is the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, giving chase, and over is Morishita, but this one's going to get into the temporary seating. Yet another one. I think that's the 3rd or 4th ball that has landed there. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. Our friend MD Mob in the house tonight. And those look like a bunch of tigers based on what we can see there. Either that or some really ugly buffaloes. So 1-2 strikes it is to Gonzalez. And again, he has asked for time and steps out. The gamesmanship that's going on here, of course, making the young right-hander think about this pitch. Gonzalez has absolutely smoked 3 balls. Our friend Fabian says in the past years he went to Ireland, beautiful country, and the people are very friendly. Absolutely, and they can drink a little bit. Here's the pitch. It is a split-finger pitch swung on and fouled away. Oh, this is turning into an epic at-bat. Nice job there by Gonzalez to be able to stay alive. It's going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. If he's able to get himself a hit out of this, this might be a turning point in the ballgame in a positive way for the Buffaloes. So 1-2 strikes it is. Gonzalez waggling the bat, leans himself back a little bit, and here comes the offering. As the right-hander holds to the set, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the battle continues. Pitch number 10 ready to happen here. Great piece of hitting here by Gonzalez, just a battle, and foul pitches away. That was far too close to take. Nice job by him just to flick the wrists at it to get that thing away. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander again nods in agreement with his catcher Sakamoto as he works to the belt. And the pitch on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to break the bat of the hitter Gonzalez as he's going to loop out to the second baseman. Oh, what a way to end it. So he's going to be retired for the second out of the inning. There's been a few broken bats here delivered tonight by Murakami. That's another one here to Gonzalez. He absolutely hit 4 balls hard in that at-bat. Pitch was a little bit on the inside part, and when he took the turn on it, you could see the pieces flying in different directions. So he's gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it to the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. For Wakatsuki, 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field his only time up. 4 for 13 in the playoffs. As the Tigers have a full-on conference on the mound here, as the pitching coach had come out to have a couple of words with his young right-hander, probably more than anything to give him a breather after that marathon at bat to Gonzalez. Wakatsuki was 4 for 12 in the previous series with 3 RBIs against the Marines. So he's ready here to face the right-hander. Runner at second, Mori. Runner at first, Kirby-Ashi. 2 gone now here in the 5th. Buffalo's looking to get a run to try to get back in this ballgame. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Our friend undrafted player says when he was in Dublin, were an Irish football playoff game. Too many people in the streets and in the bars unable to reach the bar counters in order to have a beer. That's a problem. And certainly in Ireland, there's a lot of thirsty Irish. There's a slow breaking ball that misses outside. That last pitch was at 63 miles an hour, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Wakatsuki. They say the nearer to the river Liffey that you are, the better the Guinness tastes. If you like Guinness, I think it tastes good anywhere, but that's what the Irish say. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on it. Is pop foul over on the first base side. Giving chase is Sakamoto, and it's just going to get behind the first base dugout. It's going to run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike on Wakatsuki. The start time of tomorrow's game will be the same time. It'll be 6:30 local time in Japan. In North America, it'll be a 2:30 a.m. first pitch Pacific time, 5:30 on the East Coast. But the midweek games, they'll be at the Cochin Stadium. It'll be games that'll start 6 o'clock local time, so a half hour earlier. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Wakatsuki. That last pitch was at 93 miles an hour on the gun. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander leans in and he gets his sign. As waggling the bat is Wakatsuki. Here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's right off the mask of Sakamoto, and the count remains at 2-2. It's been a pretty efficient ball game in terms of pitches for the right-hander until this inning. He has had to go deep into counts to Yumatongu, Marwin Gonzalez, and now it's looking like the same here to Wakatsuki if he can continue the battle. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander nods in agreement with Sakamoto. And the 2-2 is on the way. And it is a fastball swung on it. It is grounded over to third. Sato fields it. He's going to go to second. And that is going to retire Kobayashi on a fielder's choice. And that will do it here, as it's going to go in the books as a fielder's choice, 5-4 for the third out of the inning. And that will do it here for out number 3. As just on cue, we lose our feed on that one. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll try to reset ourselves. Looks like we're going to have our Japanese halftime, as we call it. 4-0 Tigers over the Buffaloes as they strand 2 in the inning. We're going to put the music on loop, go get ourselves a drink, and we'll be back in just a few right after this.
All I want
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPG baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto coming back out for inning number 6. We weren't sure if maybe the 4 runs in that 5th inning would get it chased or not, but nope, he is going to be back out. He is very economical in his pitch count, and so why wouldn't you bring him back out? He is going to be facing the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the lineup for the Tigers. It'll be the heart of the batting order. It'll be Oyama, Sato, and Noisy. So he is going to come on for start his 6th inning of work. Yamamoto tonight against Oyama. Oyama's 0 for 2. He had popped to short and struck out looking in his 2 trips against the Buffalo's right-hander. And now we're ready to resume the action as he kicks and delivers. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. Oyama 0 for 2 tonight, 1 for 11 in the playoffs. As he waggles the bat from the right side, here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Patrick says, very different to have breaks during the game. First time I ever heard of it. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. A number of years ago, there was a fella who was the director of officiating in Canada here. His name was Don Gilbert, and Don had gone over to do the World University Games in Taiwan. As the pitch is on the way, it is a split finger pitch, waved at and missed. The count now goes to 2-2. And when he came back, he was telling me the story that they were taking, that they would have this break in between. And I go, well, what did the pitchers do? He goes, well, they would just stay out there and keep throwing. I said, that's crazy. And he goes, yeah, they used to call it halftime. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. And so Don said it was really hot when he was doing the games there. And so he would go and they would actually go underneath the stands and go get a drink. Maybe have a little bite to eat before they'd go back out and resume the action. It would be about a 15-minute break. This isn't quite the same length of time. There's a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away. And the count remains at 3-2 to Oyama. I know when I coached over in Europe, and you would see what the teams would do. Some of the teams in the German league, they would piggyback their pitchers. There's a fastball that misses inside. It's going to be ball 4, and Oyama's got himself a leadoff walk here. And that's going to bring up Teruaki Sato. And what they would do is they would piggyback 2 pitchers in the first game. And the pitcher who had finished the first game would stay up and keep throwing, and it would start the second game. It's because he didn't have a plethora of arms. That was the reason for it. So Sato comes to bat. He is 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a single. He got the run. He got the scoring going in the 5th inning. He also stole a base. So 1 for 2 tonight for the big left-handed hitting third baseman of the Tigers. And of course, just as he steps up to bat, that's when we have our feed take a little freeze for us. So we'll have to resume that here in just a moment. As the first pitch that was delivered to Sato was a split finger pitch that was swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to him. So we're not that far off. We just happen to have lost our A feed for a bit here. We're on the B feed, so we're not going to see our chat for a couple moments until we get the A feed back up and running. There's a split finger pitch swung on and fouled away, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Sato. So no balls and 2 strikes. And just like that, our A feed is back in service again here. 4-0 Tigers over the Buffaloes. This is in the top of the 6th inning. We haven't updated our ticker on this one yet. Now we have that one in place. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as the right-hander kicks and fires. Split figure pitch swung on, grounded softly over to first. Nakagawa fields it. His only play is going to be to first. Oyama's going to advance over to second. That's going to go as a ground out to 3 in the books for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Well, for Noisy, he is 0-2 in this one. He has struck out and he has flown out to right field. The fly out to right field was actually a pretty good piece of hitting, as he had advanced Sato over to third after he had singled and stole a base in that last inning. So Noisy batting from the right side here. The former Oakland Athletic, as well as Los Angeles Dodgers, swings at a split figure pitch, and the count is quickly 0-1. Noisy 2 for 12 in the playoffs now. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. Our friend Living Room Sports has jumped in and said Tigers win the series. Here's the pitch. Split figure pitch swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Never saw that on the prediction page today, as our friend Living Room Sports makes picks on the CFL games. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander Yamamoto ready to go again. Works himself to the set, checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball, misses down. A good stop there by Wakatsuki, as he keeps the ball in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. During the regular season, Noisy hit .240. This is his first foray in Japan. I'd be curious to see if he gets a contract. Our friend Patrick earlier asked us about players that we thought that maybe could be making the jump over to North America, as that fastball misses outside. The count is now 2-2. As I mentioned before, the pitcher Matsui, the closer for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, he would be one of them. I don't see anybody on the Fighters making a jump at this point. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And stopping at third is going to be Sato. So Noisy's got himself a single. He stops at first base. Stopping at third is Oyama. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Ryo Watanabe. So I have to think about some of the others in my mind. I understand Shota Imanaga has talked about wanting to test the waters in North America. He's the left-hander for the Yokohama DNA Bay Stars. And again, I'm not sure where he would fit in exactly. He does have some, he did lead the league in strikeouts in the Central League. Patrick asked a question: if we sell Japanese baseball cards in bulk, like full sets. I don't know if I have full sets, to be honest with you, but we can do it in bulk if we can help you out. As there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Just email me after the. I can kind of tell you what I have and what we don't have. I have some stuff. I don't have a ton of stuff, but we can maybe sort something out. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even at 1-1. I was talking about the baseball cards the other day. The baseball cards came about when we were doing our programming at the beginning, and we still do it. We always give kids that come to our programming the baseball cards because we believe to learn the game, you got to play, you got to watch, and you got to listen. And so whether it be the stats on the back of the cards or the pictures on the front of the cards, it really helps the kids connect to the players. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a split finger pitch, misses down, and the count is 2-1. The Japanese cards, specifically the Epic and the BBM Company cards, the players are usually either throwing or pitching or hitting. And so as you get some of the pictures, you can use those as coaching points and teaching points for the kids. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. As the right-hander holds himself to the set and he delivers, it's a fastball swung on and missed. And now the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Yamamoto ready to go again. 92 pitches now for the right-hander, as he's got runners on the corners with only 1 gone. Tigers looking to try to blow this thing apart. Here comes the 2-2. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled off Watanabe. It looks like it might have got him on the backside leg, not on the lead leg. It was a split finger pitch. He swung to protect. So 2-2 it remains here to Watanabe. Our friend, the living room, has given his thoughts. I'll follow up on that here in a second. Here's the 2-2. It is a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. Well, as our friend living room points out about the depth of the squad, here you've got Ryoma Akita. I can't remember the last time he's seen action. Certainly not in the last series, and he gets the start in left field tonight. Didn't see that coming. And of course, Yuma Tongu, who only had a couple at bats in the last series, gets the start at DH. Mind you, he had won the Pacific League batting title, but where was he through the series against the Marines? And of course, Yutaro Sugimoto, who had a pretty decent playoff run, nowhere to be seen either. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Watanabe stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 2. That puts him in the books for the second time via the strikeout, and that's going to leave it all up to the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. Well, the Buffaloes better get things going in their half of the inning if they want to themselves back into this ball game. One thing I will say is I'd be a huge proponent of the starter Murakami staying in here as long as possible, because when we did games with the Tigers last year and even this year, it's their bullpen that really comes to a grinding halt. So here comes the 1-1 offering from Yamamoto as he holds to the set, now delivers a slow breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Kanami tonight 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also scored a run. He's had himself a hot playoffs. 6 for 12 in the playoffs so far for the Tigers. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as Yamamoto ready to go again. Kicks and fires. It's a split finger pitch that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Kanami batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Yamamoto, who holds set. And here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 1-2. Gonna have a chuckle at that one there. I wasn't sure if it was Yamamoto holding or if it was us, and then we had a bit of a pause in the stream. Our friend in the living room says he's going off to play video games. If they come back, he'll be back. Well, they're probably going to be coming back, I would think, at some point here. You're going to have to find a way to chip away. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Kanami as the right-hander ready to go again. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. That's going to be a single, and that's going to knock in Oyama with the 5th run of the game for the Tigers. Oh boy, that there stopping at second is Noisy. An RBI single for Kanami, and that is going to bring up the catcher Sakamoto. And Yamamoto is watching this one slip through his fingers, and the right-hander Murakami now pitching with a 5-run lead. And now we've got a conference on the mound here as the pitching coach for the Buffaloes has come out. Have a few words with the right-hander. I have to say, I find the umpire cam to be interesting. A nice piece of hitting there by the Tigers shortstop as he was able to go the other way with the pitch. Well, that conference is now over, and now it's going to bring up to the plate the 9-hole hitter in Sakamoto. Sakamoto 0 for 2 tonight. He is struck out looking, and he is popped out to the pitcher is only 2 times up. And here comes the first pitch from Yamamoto. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Sakamoto 2 for 11 in the playoffs. That was pitch number 100 from Yamamoto. 65 for strikes. Right-hander working himself to the set. Here comes the 0-1 offering. The breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Sakamoto. An undrafted player asked the question. He says, who are the favorites for the NPB or the Japan series in this case? The Tigers or the Buffaloes? Well, both teams were the champions of their respective leagues. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. It's a battle of the 2 Osaka-based clubs. The favorite, or the fan favorite, would be the Tigers. They are the one with the greatest following. The Buffaloes, in my opinion, have a deeper team. Doesn't mean they're the best team. Certainly the best team in the regular season was the Tigers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line. It's into the corner. Playing it off the wall is Akita. And digging around first, heading into second with a double is Sakamoto. It's going to cash in the 6th run of the game as Noisy's going to score. Stopping at third is Kanami, and that's going to put runners at second and third now with 2 gone. And it's going to bring up the top of the order in Koji Chikamoto, but that's also going to bring the manager Nakajima out of the dugout because we have seen the end of the day here for Yamamoto. Well, we've got ourselves a pitching change coming up here as that is a 6-0 lead here for the Tigers. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll get you all the specs when that happens. 6 bagel here. Yamamoto's night is done. Be right back after this from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rademacher come back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman. And why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool. To go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Check him out after the game, everybody. We're just waiting here on the pitching change as Yamamoto's night is done. We'll get you all that information here in just a moment. I can tell you this, that we are about a week after the season is completed. We are going to start running a podcast on YouTube here as well as other platforms, as it is going to be a hour-long show with the NPB, and we'll be doing the Japan recap. So if you get a chance, be sure to check it out. We'll set up our menu and everything will go. We do have the pitching change here for the Buffaloes, as it is going to be, it looks like Nobuyushi Yamada coming into the ball game. So Yamada in to replace the right-hander Yamamoto. So he comes in at a situation where they got runners at second and third and 2 gone. It'll be Koji Chikamoto stepping up to the plate. Chikamoto tonight is 2 for 3. He's got a single and a triple. He's knocked a pair of runs in. He's also scored a run. And he has grounded out to first. So a left-hander in to face the left-hander here. Friend Patrick says everybody should check out the movie Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck. Absolutely. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. Our friend ND Mob says Buffaloes are the defending champs and have been to the last 2 Japan series. But if Hanshin can stay in control tonight and take one in Osaka, yeah, it's definitely going to be advantage Tigers. That is for sure. One would have to think they want to get the split here. So here comes the 1-0 offering to Chikamoto. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball that misses down, and it's now 2-0. They do have the open base as Nakano is waiting his turn on deck, but he's been on base all 3 times in this one. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Koji Chikamoto. As the left-hander holds himself to the set again. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on him, so now the count goes to 2-1 on Chikamoto. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Chikamoto's last at bat, he had a 2-run triple. It was a key part of that 4-run outburst in the 5th inning. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside. Count now goes to 3-1. As we said, they do have the open base. But it is Nakano who waits on deck. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and now their count runs full to Chikamoto. So Yamada gets the sign from his catcher. He works himself to the belt. And here comes the payoff pitch. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. Count remains at 3-2. We have to jump away from our main feed for a bit here because we have lost our main feed as we got our B feed running. We've had that experience a few times here tonight. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chikamoto. The runner at second is Sakamoto. The runner at third is Kanami. As the lefty ready to go again, facing the left-handed batting Chikamoto. Here comes the 3-2. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away. It's going to be ball 4. Chikamoto is going to be aboard with a walk here. That's going to load the bases. And is going to bring up Takuma Nakano to the plate. Well, I think we've got everything sorted at this point. Or have we? We'll try to make sure that we got everything in place here. And it looks like we now do. So Nakano striding to the plate. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He's reached base every time he's come to the plate. He's got 2 singles. He's reached on an error, and he's also driven in a run. So a very productive night for the second baseman. He is now in the playoffs 3 for 14. So maybe the tonic that this offense needed to the Tigers was to be facing the Buffaloes. Here comes the first offering, and the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. A friend in the living room says that Tom Selleck is the most silky smooth player ever to have played for the Dragons. Well, it was kind of interesting. If you ever take a look at Tom Selleck, he had some at-bats in the Tiger organization for the Detroit Tigers in spring training, live at-bats. And you can Google that or search that on YouTube, and it'll be able to pull up for you. There's a fastball that just misses outside. The count is now 1-1 to Nakano. Runner at third is Kanami. Runner at second, Sakamoto. Runner at first is Chikamoto. They're trying to break this one open, are the Tigers. As the lefty works himself to the set position, here comes the pitch. And it is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. Oh, Nakano way out in front. Count now goes to 1-2. Living room says live at bats. Yeah, live at bats. He struck out. I think they were playing Cincinnati in the exhibition. Had a couple of foul balls that he smoked. He was a left-handed hitter, was Tom Selleck. But yeah, you can pull it up. Good old WDIV Channel 4 would have it. And there's a fastball swung, and this ball is going to be lifted over the head of the shortstop into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here's the throw to the plate, and they're going to nail the runner trying to score Sakamoto. But they are going to get another run here, as it did cross Kanami across the plate. So it's going to be a single for Nakano. He picks himself up an RBI. It is going to nail the runner at the plate in Sakamoto, but Kanami scores. And that's going to make the score now 7-0 for the Tigers, as we are about ready to move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Well, they got 3 runs in the inning, did Hanshin, on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 7-0 ball game. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here right after this. We got a 7-0 ball game on our hands. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We appreciate you guys for listening in tonight. It is the Tigers and the Buffaloes. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. Just to answer Patrick's question, and our friend MD Mob jumps in. He said it's approximately a 20-minute train ride. And I would say you're approximately right. I would have said a half-hour train ride because where it is located at that end of the city, it's not that far away. I did the walk a couple of times back to my hotel from the stadium, which was about a 3-kilometer walk to Shinsaibashi. So we do have a 7-0 lead, 7-11-0 for the Tigers, 0-1-0 for the Buffaloes. As we are ready to resume here, the Buffaloes are going to have Noguchi, Akita, and Mune coming to bat here in the 6th inning. And our level of frustration with our feeds is going to continue here. I have a feeling this is going to be tough. The first pitch is a breaking ball taken by Noguchi for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Noguchi 0 for 1 tonight. He had grounded out to second, his only trip to the plate. So yeah, relatively close. Not that far away to one another are these two clubs. And as I say, we're a little bit of a struggle right now as our feed is locking up on us a little bit here. So no balls and 1 strike to Noguchi as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that drops in, and now the count goes to 0-2. Noguchi hit .226 in the regular season. He is 1 for 4 in the playoffs, including 0 for 1 tonight. As the right-hander kicks and he fires. There's a fastball that just misses low, and the count goes to 1-2. It was only 73 pitches through the first 5 innings for Murakami. He has been pretty efficient here. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that also misses down, and the count now runs to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. And it is the Hanshin line that does take you to where the Koshin Stadium is. Koshin was the only stadium I couldn't get tickets. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now runs to 3-2 on Noguchi. It was actually the only time that the Tigers were in town when I was in Osaka. I was in Osaka for 9 nights. As there is a fastball swung on it, is hit back off the pitcher, and it's going to deflect into center field. Noguchi's got himself a base hit. There's a little bit of pinball action there. So they're going to come out and check on the pitcher here, Murakami. Probably going to want to throw a couple of pitches. But Noguchi's got himself a leadoff single here in the 6th. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Ryoma Akita. As it deflected off Murakami, the ball ended up just past the glove of the shortstop into center field. Looked like that the shortstop Kanami had started to his right, and then the ball took the deflection and went into straightaway center field. That might be the best way to knock Murakami out of the ball game, is to maim him in some capacity. So Murakami is going to get a couple of tosses here, and we'll get ready to resume the action here in just a moment. But yeah, it's the Hanshin line that takes you right there. And what's kind of neat, you get off at the stadium and you come out, and I think if I remember correctly, there's a McDonald's right there. Literally, you get out of the stadium, there's a McDonald's to your right, and then there's the Hanshin team store. And then you walk along a little bit, and then there's some more rail, I believe maybe local rail. And then the stadium is on the other side. I did a lap of the stadium once I found out I couldn't get any of the tickets in that series. There was only the 2-game mini-series against the Bay Stars. It was actually Bauer was pitching the 2nd game of the series. Couldn't get anything. So I went back to the stadium at the Kyocera Dome, and that's where I got the tickets for the Giants and the Carp. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Akita. Akita in this one is 0 for 2. He has flown to right and struck out his 2 trips to the plate. As the right-hander kicks and fires, and is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. And the ticket prices for games in Japan are extremely reasonable. So if you're thinking about going to games in Japan, very, very affordable by baseball standards in North America. So there's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Akita. Most expensive ticket I paid, and I'll give it to you in US dollars because then you can figure it out. $40 US at the Hodomoto Field in Kobe to see the Buffaloes and the Lions. There's a fastball swung on it. Grounded to second for one. Back to first. That's going to be a double play. That's going to be of the 4-6-3 variety. So Akita is gone for the second out on the back end. Noguchi retired at the front end. That's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Yumamune. Probably the most expensive ticket that I purchased would have been that one or the game at the Tokyo Dome. The Tokyo Dome, I had seats about 24 rows behind the Swallows dugout on the third base side. And those tickets were approximately $40 US as well. Here's the first pitch to Mune. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mune 0 for 2 on this one. He's grounded to first and grounded to second in his 2 trips to the plate. As he's waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the right-hander, Murakami, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses outside. Count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Cheapest tickets I had were at the Kyocera Dome. I had a chance to sit in left field watching the ball game. Kyocera Dome, the tickets at that time were, if I'm not mistaken, about $9. They're a little less than $9. They were approximately about $7 US per ticket. And we lost our feed there, and it looks like the inning is over. We have to get the result on that one there as we lost our feed for just a few. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. This is a bit frustrating sometimes, but I guess that's what's going to happen here. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. Welcome back. And it is a little bit frustrating at this point because we lost how the last hitter was retired. I'll have to jump in and get you some of those specs here in just a moment. Usually what happens is we can get that off of the NPB site so we can let you know how the inning came to an end. Looked like it was a Yumamune fly ball, but we can't get an idea of where it went to. That was going to be a fly ball to end the inning for Mune. He was the third out. So Mune retired for out number 3. We're just waiting to resume the action as if we can get ourselves our feed in place, ready to make this call again. It'll be coming to bat, but it looks like it's going to be Jacob Waguespack on the mound now for the Buffaloes. And the first pitch is delivered. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. Waguespack did not see action in the previous series, but he's facing Shota Morishita here, and the first pitch to him was a fastball swung on and fouled away. Morishita 0 for 3 in this one. He's struck out twice and has grounded into a double play. Batting from the right side here against the American right-hander as Waguespack delivers a split-finger pitch and misses down, and the count now goes even at 1-1. Oyama is waiting his turn on deck. So interesting to see how they're using here in relief. I wondered where Wagispak was hiding in the last series. There was a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-1. Obviously, if they're pitching him in relief here, it makes you wonder if, especially down in a 7-0 ball game, he must not be, at least in the eyes of Nakajima, to be in good form. So here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-2. Appreciate everybody's patience with us here tonight. It's not like our regular games that we call during the year, as we have ourselves what I call an unreliable feed. And just as we think that we've got it figured out and sorted out, it always seems to freeze up on us again. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Wagispak now kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. That last pitch was at 96 miles an hour, and that is going to retire Morishita. He's gone in the books for out number 1. So that is the third time tonight he has struck out. That'll bring up the first baseman, Yusuke Oyama. Well, for Oyama, he is 0 for 2 in this one. He's also drawn himself a walk. Oyama waggling the bat here, and here comes the offering from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Oyama 1 for 11 in the playoffs. Struggling to get the groove going here. Right-hander works to the set position. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses up and in, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Oyama waggling the bat as the right-hander holds to the set position. And now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Oyama here waiting on the offering from the right-hander. Here comes the pitch. Wagispak delivers a fastball that just misses inside, and now the count goes to 3-1 on Oyama. 7-0, the Tigers have the lead over the Buffaloes. It's in the top of the 7th inning. Game 1 of the Japan series between these two Osaka baseball clubs. First time in over 50 years, 2 Kansai clubs are meeting. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. It is Teruyuki Sato who waits his turn on deck. As the pitch is on the way from Wagispak, it's a fastball that misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to be the second time tonight Oyama has reached base via base on balls. So he's going to head off to first, and Sato's going to come to the plate. Well, Sato is definitely a batter who can turn one around. He's got that juice in the bat. He can do that. So Oyama, the runner at first with 1 gone, and Sato stepping to the plate. He's 1 for 3 in this one. He's got a single, a run scored, and a stolen base. The other 2 times he has grounded out to the right side of the infield. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Sato. We will be, as we said, back on the airwaves again tomorrow. Same time, same 2 ball clubs, of course. And then it'll be an off day on Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we'll make the calls as well, assuming there is a Thursday. As a fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count is 1-1. I see this series going 6 games. That's how I look at it. Buffaloes will not be dead yet. They'll recoup after this one here, assuming it stays the way it is. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side. The count is now 1-2. I do appreciate everybody who's jumped in tonight to the channel to listen in. And hopefully you guys can stick around tomorrow and join us again. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Sato as Waguespack gets himself another ball. As we mentioned before, it is a struggle here tonight. It has been one of these nights where we have some inconsistent feeds. We have about 6 or 7 feeds tonight actually on this one. Just getting one to be consistent all the time. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on it. Is chopped back to the pitcher. Waguespack fields it. He looked over to second. He thought about maybe taking a shot to get Oyama, but that's going to go as a ground out 1-3. Retires Sato for the second out. Advancing safely to second is Oyama, and that's going to leave it all up to the left fielder, Sheldon Noisy. Our friend Influence says that our RIP to the Buffaloes in game 1. At least he hit the over. Yeah, that is true. You were asking for the over. You were asking for runs early and often in this one. Well, I don't know if you got them early enough. When they came, you certainly got them often. Well, Noisy steps into the plate here with the runner at second and 2 gone, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Noisy tonight 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also scored a run. He's 3 for 13 in the playoffs. As the right-hander Waguespack holds to the belt and now pitches. Fastball that Noisy went around on. That was at 95 miles an hour up in the zone. The count now goes to 0-2. Friend Influence says, yeah, the Tigers took off in the 5th. Yeah, those back-to-back innings. 4 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th. Is where the damage has been done. 2 innings worth of crooked numbers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. If you're the Buffaloes in this one, what you got to do is you got to chip away. You hopefully got to be able to get 1 or 2 balls that need to be, or 1 or 2 runs that need to be scored on here. If you can get a couple of runs here to get some momentum, whatever you can to go into the next game with. I'd like to see some competitive at-bats. There's been stretches in this one we haven't. There's a fastball that is spiked up to the plate. The count goes to 1-2 on Noisy. Uncompetitive at-bats from the Buffaloes. And there was that one inning there where it was Mune and Nakagawa had swung at the first pitch back in the 4th inning and made it a really easy out after Akita had an 8-pitch at bat to begin the inning. Just not grinding out the at-bats. There's the pitch. It's a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Noisy. Waguespack was in the Toronto Blue Jay organization. When I watch him pitch, he's very over the top. At the best of times. And then when he throws a split finger pitch, it spikes up to the plate. So here comes the 2-2 offering as the right-hander ready to deliver again to Noisy. Checks the runner over at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses outside. It's now 3-2. He does have the open base over there at first base. Doesn't have to necessarily pitch to Noisy as they've got Rio Watanabe on deck. With a 7-run cushion, we would think something else. Friend Influence says he was expecting a closer game. Hard to tell how this series will go, but figures he agrees on a 6-game set. There's a fastball that is swung on and grounded foul down the first base line. Count remains at 3-2 to Noisy. Well, it started looking good. Both of the pitchers through the first 3 innings were electric. In fact, Yamamoto had pitched to the minimum, although he had allowed a hit. He had the help of a double play to get him out of the first inning. And Murakami had retired the first 12 batters that he faced. So it looked like we were going to be in for a long haul in this one. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Noisy goes in the books. He's gone for out number 3, and that will do it here in the 7th inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. Now go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Tigers 7 and the Buffaloes no score. Hang on, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us here tonight. We'll be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and the support you give to our channel. Check out Matt Hollis after the ball game. One thing I was thinking about that kind of bugged me, our friend Patrick was saying they really need to do more globally for the game in Japan. They don't necessarily put it out around and about outside of their country, and I agree with that. One of the things that I would like to see is when I was at the Tokyo Dome, I had talked to the salespeople were trying to get you to buy the package for the Yomiuri Giants. So you could do that. And I said to the fellow when I was talking to him, I said, you know, I have no interest in, or I have an interest in getting the Giant package, but the Central League has all their teams independently. They're all hooked up. And then the other part is what I find it to be an annoying piece is that you can't get the out of country service. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. Count as 0-1 to Nakagawa. And I think a lot of people, if they had the opportunity to purchase it, they'd probably want to buy it. They want to be able to watch Japanese baseball or whatever it might be, especially if it's their team. As there's a split finger pitch swung on. This is lifted down the right field line. Giving chase is the first baseman, Oyama, and he's going to make it over the shoulder catch as he slides into the wall. What a catch. What a play there by Oyama. Nice play by him, and that's going to retire Nakagawa for the first out of the inning. So 1 in the books. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Tomoya Mori. And for Mori, he's 1 for 2 in this one. He's got a double in 2 trips. But back to the salesman for the Yomiuri Giants, and I said, like, you guys got to think about this because look at the marketplace outside of Japan that you're missing out on. And outside of Japan, people are going to look for the pirated stuff. So might as well make a buck while you can. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. If you can make a buck here and there, then you might as well take it because for every 10 people that probably are going to look for a pirated feed, you might still be able to get 1 or 2 people to buy your stuff consistently. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Even Patrick says he'd buy to watch Japanese baseball, and that is another problem. The Pacific League used to be available in Europe, But I don't think in Europe they can watch it anymore. And I think that has to be with the laws of the European Union. There's a fussball ticket for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. I think it's EU countries or something like that. Can't watch the games. It's crazy. Have all this technology, and then we end up handcuffing ourselves. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep center field, but not deep enough. Moving to the edge of the warning track and making the catch is Chikamoto, and that is going to retire Mori. He's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Yuma Tongu. And as Patrick says, he would pay to be able to watch it, and I think a lot of people would probably echo those sentiments. And the first pitch to Tongu is a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. Count is quickly 0-1 to Tongu. Tongu 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded to the shortstop and struck out looking his 2 trips to the plate. Bottom of the 7th inning here, 7-0 lead for the Tigers. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses way outside. The count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. When this one's over, we'll give you the full roundup of the game here tonight. Before we would close it off, here comes the 1-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. That was the 97th pitch delivered. Well, the Minty Duck is in here asking the question, says, where can I watch the NPB in the U.S.? And we will give you some of those answers here in just a moment. There's a fastball that swung on a grounded foul. Well, in the United States, there was a service called FTF, Friends to Friends, and a lot of that stuff was on delay. That part I don't know. DAZN used to carry it. If you have a VPN, you can have your VPN sent to Japan. You can pick up DAZN over there. Of course, you'd have to pay for it. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball that just misses inside. Mark Cammy was running off the mound. But that is going to run the count now full to Tongu. That pitch looked pretty darn good to us. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track. And this one is going to be caught by Noisy. Oh, not an easy catch. As he catches as he runs into the wall, and that is going to do it here as the Buffaloes are retired in their half of the 7th inning. I'll come back to the Minty Duck in just a couple moments. When we come back in just a few, no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 7 complete. It is a 7-0 lead for the Tigers over the Buffaloes. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning. It is going to be Watanabe, Kanami, and Sakamoto to come to bat here for the Tigers and their half of the inning. There's been a number of other spots in the United States that you could pull it up. Of course, it used to be ABC in Hawaii used to carry it up until a few years ago. A huge Japanese population in the Hawaiian Islands. They used to bring in the ball games from Japan. But as we said, Friends to Friends and DAZN, and after that has been a bit sketchy. There's been a few websites that I understand, some of the gambling websites that you can actually go and be able to pull up some of the stuff if you were a member of some of the gambling sites. And I can't remember which ones it were, but you could actually go in and get the feed through them. But some of the gamblers, sometimes we have a big gambling crowd in, not just listening to the games, but during the regular season, people are betting on the NPB regular. So some of those folks come in and are able to, I want to say it was like bet two-way or something like that. Never actually gone in and experienced that myself. So Watanabe, Kanami, and Sakamoto scheduled to come to bat here, as it does look like they have gone to the bullpen yet again, have the Buffaloes. It is going to be a right-hander. It's going to be Taisuke Yamaoka coming in. So he'll be pitcher number 4 here, used by the Buffaloes in this one. And the first pitch is a split finger pitch that misses down and in. So Yamaoka, he got himself roughed up in that series against the Marines. He had him got it touched up for a couple of runs in one of the ball games. There's a fastball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-0. Looks like there is another change. It looks like Sho Gibbo is in the ball game over at second base. He'll have come in to replace Marwin Gonzalez. As the 2-0 is on the way, there's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's now 3 balls and no strikes. And here comes the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. Yamaoka has walked Watanabe on 4 straight pitches. He's aboard with a leadoff walk here in the top of the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Seiya Kanami. Well, unlike in the last series when the Marines were struggling to do damage with the bottom 4 hitters in the order, right now it is no such issue for the Hanshin Tigers. They have 5 hits from the bottom 4 hitters in their order here tonight. And they've also scored 4 of the 7 runs from the bottom 4 hitters as well. So Kanami stepping to the plate. He's 2 for 3 in this one. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Kanami's got 2 singles. He's also driven in a run and scored a pair of runs. He is 7 for 13 in the playoffs. He is absolutely on fire. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to second. Gibbo fields it. He goes to second for 1, back to first. It's going to be a double play. A nice job, nice turn there. As Gibbo was able to get it and jump pivot. Nice throw over to the shortstop Kobayashi. But 4-6-3, that's going to retire Kanami in the books. And that'll bring up the catcher, Seishiro Sakamoto. A friend, undrafted player, says he's never seen an NPB game on French TV channel. Yeah, I don't think that you would probably ever even see it in the highlights. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Sakamoto 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double and an RBI. As the right-hander Yamaoka delivers, there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. Buffalo's got 6 outs left to go here in this one. The right-hander Yamaoka kicks and fires. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander delivers again, there's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul down the third baseline. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Should we go to a 6th and a 7th game, it would be next weekend. It would be on the Saturday and the Sunday. But I'm not sure how that would play out in North America or in Europe time. I think that is the weekend North Americans will change their clocks. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. Japan never changes their clocks. They stay on the same time year-round. North America, the clocks go back an hour. Here's the pitch. It is a split-figure pitch, swung on and missed. And Sakamoto is going to be retired on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. It looks like Murakami might be done. His influencing biggest comeback in the 9th. Japan World Series. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Some sounds from our game in Saitama, the Cebu Lions. It's their cheerleaders, as the Buffaloes don't have any of their own, or at least not until next year. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. This might wake you up. Welcome back, everybody. That is when we were at the game between the Lions and the Fighters. A little bit of music. And they beat the drum and they play the horns religiously when their teams are at bat. That is for sure. Well, we are going to have ourselves the 6, 7, and 8 hitters scheduled to come to bat in the batting order. 7-11-0 for the Tigers, 0-2-1 for the Buffaloes. But it looks like it'll be Sho Gibbo hitting in the spot of Marwin Gonzalez when we resume the action here. So Kirby-Ashi, Gibbo, and Wakatsuki to come to bat on our clock here in the 8th inning. Tigers need 6 outs to put the Buffaloes away to capture Game 1 of the Japan series. And is it going to be a pitching change? It looks like we may have a new pitcher in the ball game, and the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1, and they run it out here a little bit slower for us. It looks like it is going to be number 54. This is going to be Ren Kajia on in relief. And of course, as Ren comes in on relief, we lose our feed right on schedule. So hang tight. We'll try to be able to update you here in just a moment with all the action. We'll have to do a quick look at our feeds here to see if maybe we've got something else. Well, we do have something else, but I don't know if it's the feed that we want here. We still had Jacob Waguespack running in his piece over here. We have no balls and 2 strikes right now with 1 out here to Sho Gibbo. So we're a little bit behind in our feed. Or check that, it is Marwin Gonzalez who's batting. So Gibbo's going to go into a different spot in the batting order. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Gonzalez goes down on strikes. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So hence my apologies to everybody here for the lack of feed right now. So 2 in the books here in the 8th inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. And we'll stay with this as much as we can. Kajia here has only thrown 5 pitches. We'll have to get how Kirby was retired. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded right back to the pitcher. Fielded neatly. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 1-3. So that's a pretty quick inning there for the right-hander. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. And it is going to be the top of the 9th coming up. Hang tight, everybody. The Tigers are coming to bat. We'll be back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate everybody and their patience here tonight for this one. It's been a bit of a slog fest for us as we've had our fair share of challenges. I have a feeling it's going to be like this for the rest of the series as well. It's going to be the top of the order slated to come to bat. It'll be Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita to come to hit here for the Tigers. We're going to have to see if the Buffaloes are going to their bullpen again. Buffaloes have used 4 pitchers tonight. Yamamoto, Yamada, Wagyu, Spack, Yamaoka. We're just waiting here to see if it is yet going to be another pitcher to be used here tonight by the Oryx Buffaloes. And it does look like that is going to be the case. It is going to be Shota Abe, who's coming on in relief. So pitcher number 5 to be used here in this one. And Abby's going to get the top of the order in Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses up and away to Chikamoto. Chikamoto 2 for 3 tonight, a single, a triple. He's knocked in a pair of runs. He's also drawn a walk. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a strike, and the count is 1-1. When we assumed that it was Gibbo would be going in at second base to replace Gonzalez, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-2. Sho Gibbo actually goes into the 3 spot to replace Kai Nakagawa. As Nakagawa left the game at first base, that's where Gonzalez has went to. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Digging hard is Chikamoto. The throw comes into second base, and it's not going to be in time. That's a hustle double here for the speedy center fielder, and he's got himself a double. And that is going to put him a home run shy of the cycle. He's probably not going to get another at bat in this one, but a leadoff double here. For the speedy center fielder. And that brings up a bit of a trivia question. Players in the NPB who have hit for the cycle. There has not been a cycle hit since 2021 in the NPB. Be curious to know if there's been one in the playoffs or when that's happened. There's a breaking ball that misses down and into Nakano. 1 ball and no strikes. The last player to do it was Yasutaka Shiomi, who did it for the Swallows against the Yomiuri Giants back in September of 2021. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses down, and the count is 2-0. Shugo Maki also had one in 2021 for the Bay Stars against the Tigers, as that game was played at the Osaka Dome. The last Tiger to hit for the cycle was Ryotaro Umeno, who turn the trick against the Bay Stars. There was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Nakano. And the last Oryx Buffalo to do it, well, technically there's never been a Oryx Buffalo to do it. It was a Oryx Blue Wave player back in 2003 when Jose Ortiz had himself a cycle against the Saitama Cebu Lions, as that breaking ball dropped in for a called strike, and the count's now 2-2. So there have been, in the history of the NPB, 76 cycles have been hit. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into center field. Moving over underneath it and making the grab is Noguchi, and that's going to retire Nakano for the first out of the inning. He's in the books for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Shota Morishita. Well, Morishita here, he's got to try to find a way to get something going. He's 0 for 4 tonight. He has struck out 3 times, and he's grounded into a double play. So not the offensive production that they had hoped from him tonight. MD Bob says that he hopes that the Tigers can save some of these hits for tomorrow night. It's always interesting to see that when that's the case, how teams do. They go out one night and pound out a bunch of runs, and the next night they come up ice cold. There's a first pitch breaking ball. Swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Morishita. They have not yet announced the pitching matchup for tomorrow night's game. Interesting that they're waiting on the delay on that. I'm sure they'll probably make that announcement sometime after this one here. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. I have to say, watching Morishita hit here, he looks like the word confused would be the way that I would put it. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Morishita. I would think it's got to be a must-win game for the Buffaloes tomorrow, and you don't want to go to the Cochin down 2. There's a split-finger pitch that misses down. They appeal over to the first base umpire. They say didn't go. Boy, I'd like to have another look at that one myself. And we're going to get it here. Let's get a look at the first base angle. Oh, I don't know if I agree with the first base umpire that time. I think my right hand would be going up. Especially with a 7-run lead, and it's not like Morishita's done anything tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that one doesn't go. Now they appeal back to first, and they say he didn't go again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morishita getting some home cooking as a visitor here in this one. Our friend Titus is pumping some of the Japanese script into the chat. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is golfed into shallow center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Oh, rounding third and stopping at third is Chikamoto. It's going to be a single for Morishita, so he's going to get off the schneid here. It'll be his 3rd hit of the playoffs. And that he's going to put runners at the corners with 1 gone. It'll bring up the first baseman, Yusuke Oyama. Well, for Oyama, he's 0 for 2 in this one. He's got a couple of walks. He's also scored a run. So he comes to bat here. As we said, we're a little bit on the frustrated side with our feed per se. So we'll have to wait here as we got runners on the corners. So we're going back over to our B feed here. So we're not going to be able to get a chance to see the chat for a couple moments. So here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is chopped right to home plate. Oh, what a smart play by Wakatsuki. He picked it up, tagged the batter, and then he was ready to go to the bases, but unfortunately it was a foul ball. So counts no balls and 1 strike. Really headsy play there by the catcher. That ball would have been a fair ball. He would have had opportunity potentially for a double play. So here comes the offering from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1 to Oyama. Runners at the corners, 1 gone here. Runner at third is Chikamoto. Runner at first, Morishita. And Oyama batting here, looking to add to the lead of the Tigers. And the pitch is a fastball that misses inside. Now the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Oyama. Well, looks like we got our A feed back, so we join the chat again. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander, Abby, ready to deliver. Kicks and fires. There's a split finger pitch and misses down. It's now 3-1 to Oyama. Seen Abby pitched over the last couple of months of the season, and he's not been particularly sharp, in my opinion, both live and on TV. So the right-hander works himself to the set. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 3-2 on Oyama. Oyama's been in this situation before. As we said, he's drawn a couple of walks tonight. It's the 3rd time tonight he has worked the count full. The first 2 times is drawn walks. So he's waggling the bat. The Tiger fans are loving life right now. Here comes the 3-2. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down. That's going to be the 3rd walk issued tonight to Oyama. So he's going to be aboard. It's going to advance Morishita over to second. That's going to bring up Teruaki Sato to the plate. If I had to take a quick look to see how many walks that the Buffalo's pitchers have issued here tonight in this one, as I get a quick peek on our stat sheet, looks like it's 3 to Oyama and 1 to Chikamoto, unless I've missed something. Oh, it looks like Watanabe had one as well, but he was erased in a double play. So it's like 5 in our books. So bases are loaded full of Tigers. And Sato strides to the plate. He is 1 for 4 in this one tonight. Single in 4 trips. He's also scored a run and stolen a base. So Sato digs in. Ready on the first offering from Abby. Abby has dug himself a hole here. He's given up a double, a single, and now a walk. In between, he's got 1 fly ball to center field. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on his top softly over to third. Fielded by Mune. His only play is to first. That's going to be a ground out 5-3. He had to charge the ball. Sato is going to get himself an RBI. He's also going to become the second out of the inning. It advances Oyama to second. Morishita over to third, and Chikamoto comes in with the 8th run of the ball game. So you can probably be guaranteed that the Buffaloes are not coming back in this one. So 8-0 now here in the top half of the 8th inning. Well, that brings Sheldon Noisy to the plate. And for Noisy, he is 1 for 4 in this one. Again, we're struggling here to hopefully bring this one home for you guys. And it looks like that ball is lifted into right center field. Moving over is the center fielder, and that is going to be caught by Noguchi. And that is going to do it as Noisy is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But they do get a run in the inning. 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. Check that, 2 runners left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Your score is 8-0 for the Tigers. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments and bring you all the action of the bottom of the 9th when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging here with us tonight. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 batters slated to come to bat for the Buffaloes in their half of the 9th inning. Noguchi, Akita, and Mune, by our accounts here, is who will come to the bat. So we'll see how this goes here in just a moment. Tigers' last trip to the Japan series, they lost to the Hawks in 2014 in 5 games, 4 games to 1. Buffaloes have been to the series the last couple of years. They won 4 games to 2 against the Swallows last year. The Swallows won in 2021 4 games to 2. So the defending champion Buffaloes here in tough already against the Hanshin Tigers. We're 3 outs away from going up 1-0 in the series. Our friend Influence says, are the Buffaloes going to get shut out? Well, it's certainly looking here more and more likely. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Noguchi. We do have a pitching change for the Tigers. Not liking the fact that we don't get the changes until almost a pitch is delivered. It is Yuta Iwasada on the mound. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 to Noguchi. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty works himself to the set position. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Noguchi's in the books. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Ryoma Akita. So Akita 0 for 3 in this one. He has flown to right, struck out looking, and grounded into a double play. The Hanshin lefty ready to go again. As Iwasada delivers a breaking ball, take it for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Akita. As we said, Akita only played 20 games in his NPB career. In the past 2 seasons, there's a fastball swung on it. It's lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. Interesting that he gets the start in right field here tonight. Bottom half of the ninth inning, 8-0 lead here for the Hanshin Tigers. Here's the pitch. There's a slow breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-2. Yumamune waits his turn on deck if Kita can find a way on base. I'll also be curious to see how they would arrange the pitching. I would assume that the starters of this game here would go in Game 6 next Saturday if that was to take place. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is back-to-back strikeouts, as that is going to retire Akita for the second out of the inning, and that'll leave it up to the third baseman, Yumamune. Well, for Mune tonight, he is 0 for 3. He's flown out. He's grounded out twice. He is 6 for 18 now in the playoffs. So the starter Murakami sitting in the dugout feeling very confident he's going to get a win here. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Mune. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. This one here is nearing its completion. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on, and it's fouled away, and it keeps the count at 0-2. Crowd's still hanging in here. That's one thing I will say this. If this was North America, the Buffalo fans would be leaving in droves by now, but they hang in right to the bitter end. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-2. I noticed that with a lot of teams, the fans will stay right to the end of the ball game. They don't get up and leave early. If this was Kansas City, it'd be a mass exodus to the exits at this point. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball that just misses low and in, and the count now goes to 2-2. Masada trying to sell it. He was on his way to the dugout. So the Buffaloes are down to their final strike, down by 8 runs here in the 9th inning. And here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, Iwasada delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and that is going to do it. This is in the ball game. That is in the books. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard as Iwasada strikes out here in the 9th inning. Hang tight, everybody. We'll come on back and wrap it up for you in just a moment. Your final score here is the Hanshin Tigers shutting out the Oryx Buffaloes 8-0. We'll be right back in just a few to wrap this one up for you. Hang tight. Appreciate you guys and your support for being here tonight.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. It is your final score, 8-0 in game one of this series. We'll give you the quick rundown here before we call it a night. It was runs were scored in bunches in the 5th and the 6th inning for the Tigers as they opened up the scoring in inning number 5, a leadoff single by Teraki Sato. He then stole second base. Sheldon Noisy stepped up to the plate and flew out to right field, advancing Sato over to third. Then it was a RBI single by Rio Watanabe to drive in the first run of the ball game. Then Seiya Kanami stepped up and singled. Put runners at first and second. It brought up Sakamoto to the plate, and he squared the bunt and popped it out to the pitcher. But it was the 2-run triple by Koji Chikamoto that brought home a pair of runs. That was with 2 out. And then it was Takuma Nakano who singled home Chikamoto to give the Tigers a 4-0 lead. In the 6th inning, a leadoff walk by Oyama. He was advanced to second on a ground out. Then it was a Sheldon Noisy single. After Watanabe struck out looking, it was a Kanami RBI single, then a RBI double by Sakamoto. After a walk to Chikamoto, then it was Nakano who drove home the 3rd run of the inning in Kanami. But of course, it was the runner that was tagged out at the plate would have been Sakamoto. He was retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And then they added one more in the 9th, the leadoff double by Chikamoto. After a flyout to center field by Nakano, it was a single by Morishita that put runners on the corners. A walk to Oyama loaded the bases. And then Sato grounded out, and that brought home the 8th run of the ball game, as that retired Sato on a ground out 5-3. Again, your final score, 8-0 here for the Tigers. We'll be back on again tomorrow night. Hopefully you guys can come on in and join us. It is the late nights. Hopefully we'll be a little bit more awake by then tomorrow. This one here was like a lot of coffee, a lot of tea, and a lot of other stuff. We thank you again tonight, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Influence, look forward to having you back, and everybody else that is with us here. Thanks again, everybody. We appreciate you guys for checking in. We'll see you again on the flip side tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.